Oh. Okay, well, it is striking 7, so can I officially open the meeting and welcome you to the November Finance, Employment and Services Committee meeting. Are there any apologies?
Yes, I've had apologies from Councillor Moffat.
Yeah. Are there any declarations of interest? No. Item 4, the minutes of the October meeting. Has anyone any comments or corrections to them, or would someone like to move them and second them? Or seconded? No comments? Those in favour? Thank you. Public forum. There are no members of the public here. Exclusion of the public. Under the Local Government Act, it applies just to one item, which is item 14 at the end of the agenda, which is a staffing matter. Item 7, financial update. We can take A, B and C together, I think. Has anyone any comments on any of it, or is there anything Gina wants to clarify?
I would just say that obviously these have been done slightly earlier this time because Steve was on annual leave. So we did it once he'd had time to update everything. So it's a bit earlier than normal. You normally would have it a bit later than that, but
Moved and seconded, but before we take the vote, has anyone any comments on them at all? No? Those in favour then? Thank you. Item 8, small grants applications.
okay, so there is one grant application that we've received, which was from the Colne Bit, which is for an improvement project to the roundabout. Landscape improvement scheme. So the project will create a new shrubbed area around the Plumbing Centre car park and will create wildflower bedding areas to support wildflower regrowth and improve the overall look of the area. The area is perceived to be a key gateway site into the town. Now this, the match funding for this project actually went to Pendlebury Council, so it went to Colne Area Committee at the last meeting. So in the report, I'd actually put obviously the draft minutes from that meeting. So they'd applied for the remainder of the project, which was 3,000 and something. But they'd agreed to contribute 2,000 towards, but with requests to redesign the scheme be considered, because they didn't think that the laurel hedge plants were appropriate. But not being a gardener myself, I wouldn't really know. But yeah. They have said that the work is supposed to be starting in spring 2025. Now, really, in order to comply with our policy, it would have to be all completed as per the application by the 31st of March. So that's just to make you aware of that. Now, the amount they've requested is 644, which remarkably is exactly what we've got left in the budget.
Howard.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused reading this again. It says the project's 7,000, give or take a bit. Then it says, so there's round figures, this 6,500 short, is that?
Ah, right. Yeah, so that's what they
Right.
applied for area committee for.
And they've just given them 2.
Yeah.
So that leaves 3 and yeah.
Yeah. Which they would have to find other match funding for.
So our 640 quid makes no difference whatsoever. Whether it's Laurel, I mean, yes, it needs doing. When I say we, I mean me and Councillor David Clegg got the EAG to smarten it up, and they smartened it up. It's quite a while ago now, and of course the EAG doesn't exist anymore. And I cannot believe that for £640 they're not going to do it. Can we just earmark that for this? Meanwhile, if something else comes along,
It was stated at Pendleborough Council that they should approach, because it's not all owned by Pendleborough Council.
No.
Some of it is actually owned by, I think it's the
Well,
Plumbers Merchants that's actually there.
Howard will probably remember this. Going back quite a few years, going back to when Howard was on Pendle Council, when I was, and Peter Atkinson was struggling sorting out who owned what part of that, and I actually sorted it out for him. And there are actually 3 owners. There is about a third of it owned by Pendleborough Council. There's about a third of it owned by the Plumbers Merchants, and there's about a third of it owned by LCC, which all relates to compulsory purchases for Dewitt Road when they were going to bring motorway and all that sort of thing through, and when they did North Valley Roundabout, when that were done. I'm not sure whether they've got permission off the FLCC and off the Plumbers Merchants to do the work anyway. I don't know. I don't know whether they have or not.
Well, Pendle is suggesting that they approach the Plumbers Merchants to ask them to contribute.
yeah, but I'm trying to remember the map that, and I can't now, as to who owned what
The
bit.
car park and the bit at the front is owned by Plumbers Merchants.
Yeah, and the rest was
The bit round the side facing the car sales company, which is W Summit,
yeah.
is Pendle's. The bit at the back that sort of faces bottom of Harrison Drive is the bit that's LCC.
Yeah, so the landscape, most of the landscaping scheme would be on Pendle stroke the county, and a very small part would be the Plumbers Merchant. So I think this is another case of people second guessing what the real situation is.
I would have thought that if the work's not going to start till spring next year anyway, that they're probably better off waiting till the scheme reopens in April. And then
Yeah, well, I say £600 from us is not going to stop it, or he's not going to prevent it going ahead. There'll be one less bush somewhere, won't they? I mean,
Yeah, the way I see it, with our 644, if we do it, and the 2,000 from
Pendle.
Golden Area Committee,
Committee.
Pendle, yeah, that's less than half of what the shortfall is.
Yeah. So
So will it go ahead anyway? I don't
Well,
know.
I'm guessing we'll be able to afford to do.
I think the course of action is to go back to was it the bid that asked for this,
Yeah,
to say our understanding is that the part that would need the most landscaping, i.e. The bit facing west, sorry, and round to the east. That's the most important bit because it says in here that's the gateway,
Mhm.
and the majority of that is in the counties and Pendle's ownership. So I think they need to look at who owns what, because certainly if I was the plumbers merchants, I wouldn't want to pay for somebody else's stuff.
yeah. From what I remember, there was only me and you knew who owned what, and one person from Pendle Council, which was Peter Atkinson, and he's no longer there.
Yeah.
So I
But
don't know.
now you said it, I remember the majority of the hard surface bit was what came with the plumbers merchant.
Yes.
And there's just a very little bit at the front.
That's why they wanted to put that display in what they asked for planning permission for
Oh,
on the hard
on
surface
the hard
because
surface,
it's theirs.
Yeah.
That's why they wanted it there. Because they could give themselves landowners permission to put it up, being landowners.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that's the first thing.
Well,
so we'll look at it again when they've
if
Finalise the
dotted
scheme.
I's and
Yes.
crossed the T's.
if you defer it, it may present another problem because I don't know how much of this I can actually say really. Let's just say another application for funding did come in after the agendas had been done and gone out, which will be on next month, if there were any money left.
Well, there's a chance that it wouldn't be completed before the year end anyway. So to me, and they've been told to re-look at the scheme and change it. So I would probably, well, yeah, I would say so. I'll speak to Anissa. They may have decided not to go ahead with it. I don't know.
Chair, it looks like it's a three-way mash. We're only been asked on by one body, which is Tom Bid. We need to find out initially what the plumbing company want to do with that part, with their part. I know you've just said that they wanted to put that, they put a sign up there because it was their land. But if we want to improve the whole of the roundabout, because of for the people coming in from outside wanted to come into Colne, and we wanted to improve it and encourage people to come in, we need, it'd be pointless doing A, B, and leaving C a tip. It wouldn't look very well.
No.
So I think we do need to and I will refer help out with Councillor Howard's suggestion that we do defer because we haven't got all the facts. So I will second Howard's proposal.
That's fine. I was just pointing out that if it comes back next month, there will be 2 bids to consider and still only 644 in the pot. I just wanted to make you aware of that. Because there will be another. Yeah.
We can't give something to something that isn't sorted yet.
No,
It-
no,
it's up to-
I agree.
It's up to that bit to be
Yeah.
sorted, and
And-
if we get another one in that will be action straight away, we'll worry about that at the next.
And from the bids point of view, if they're not starting it till spring, they may be better off putting the bid in next financial year in April rather than now. It might be to their advantage to do that. So can I see all those in favour of deferring it? Thank you. Item 9, Blues Festival 2024.
Right, there have been some changes to this, basically, because I thought Nathan had put everything through. And the only thing that hadn't gone through that hadn't worked out was the recharge for the bar stock. So I don't know, Steve, do you know how much that is?
It's about 3,200 to add on to the figure that's already there. So nominal 4834 should be about 4,200. It's on now, but at the time of producing these reports, it wasn't. The nominal 4834, 3/4 of the way down the bottom, bar trading purchase, that figure should read more like 4,200. Okay.
So you're looking at just under 65,000 for your investment. I'll say investment.
Have we got anything in place yet for fixing the pavements across the road that were damaged during the blues?
As far as I know, they were looking at sourcing some stone. But that's the last I'd heard of it. Have you had any kind of update? No. The lads knew where they could get some. And it was just finalising how much we needed and whether there was enough available. They haven't heard back.
But the cost of it's got to go on a budget heading somewhere, hasn't it?
Sorry,
Probably, but we will be looking for some of it from the person who actually did it.
Yes.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
never mind some of it.
Well, all of it.
We want all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we want all.
So,
Yeah.
who are the lads in this question?
The lens.
What about the person that did, or the people that did it, the stall holder that did it, or
Well, he was struggling to find any, but because of the ones.
no, I don't. Presumably, he's got liability insurance
Insurance,
of
well.
some sort. So we should just get a price for doing it and say, hey up.
But we're still working on that price.
Well, we should get on with it. I mean, it's
Yeah, it may have been sorted out. I don't know because Nathan was off. So
Really, it should be an expense that is covered in full by the person
By
who
the trade
caused
union.
the
Yes.
damage.
Yeah.
If it isn't and it falls on council, it's got to go on a budget heading somewhere, and the likely one to carry the can for it is the blues, because it was a blues event,
yeah.
which could alter these figures. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's an extraordinary.
Yeah, because all other budgets are stretched as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there ain't any leeway to manoeuvre it about.
Have we any idea of the cost that it's going to be?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
There's at least a dozen flags broken.
Yeah.
At least. And they take up and to put relay on that.
But it depends if we can, if we can source the stone from cheaper source and the lensman do the repair, then obviously it won't cost as much. But
No,
we still expect the trader to fully
Couple.
compensate us for that. Yeah.
but equally, if someone goes base over apex on it, we could end up with another claim,
Yeah,
couldn't we?
if somebody falls on it because it's our pavement, we're liable.
Yeah, so you know we need to get it sorted.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
And you know, oh, they haven't found it yet. Well, if they haven't found it by, you know, a fortnight,
I'm not sure if they have. They may have done
Well,
already.
yeah.
So I can't tell you because I haven't had an update.
We need to chase it up, don't
we need,
and,
yeah.
and if the guy who owns the thing that was on there, the damper that created the problem, if he won't pay up or put it through his insurance, I think we ought to tell him he can't come back again on a tax year.
Well, I've already said I don't want that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you've already said he can't come back. He probably won't pay, will it? But that's another aside to this, isn't it? But we do need to, like Howard says, we do need to get it sorted before someone falls on it.
Yeah.
Looks unsightly as well.
But it is up for information only, isn't it, for East Blues Festival report itself. So can we know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Item 10. Draft budget.
So this is pretty much a wish list of various different things. Town hall roof is in there. So that's why your admin budget is increased due to loan repayments and interest. Just see, we have the Christmas lights. Obviously, there's an increase there because of the improvements we wanted to make. Obviously, I've scheduled them for somewhere this current year, so that's increased the contract for next year. And then I've staggered the other improvements for the following year and the year after. Let's see what else there is. Events obviously has gone up because we've added the Colne Gala in there. So that's an additional event. Council governance has gone up. That's mainly due to salaries. That's the main thing in that budget heading. CCTV. Basically, I put some extra in the budget for. We still need to get the cameras at King George's. They need an upgrade really, so we need to look at that. There's also one camera in the town hall that not in the town hall, in the town centre, that is basically there's a tree in the way. So while knocking the tree down, we need to place that column somewhere else. We have got a quote for doing that. But there isn't enough left in the budget for this year. I was going to look at maybe approaching the Police and Crime Commissioner, as he has a pot of funding available for this kind of thing, antisocial behaviour, etc., which we could argue, obviously, that this would help. And I also put extra in for the following year because we were looking at putting some CCTV cameras inside perimeter, and also looking at waterside play area as well, because it's another one that we get quite a lot of antisocial behaviour on. So that's why you've got increases in CCTV. Town hall, obviously that's with the roof repairs in there, and probably the new boilers. So that's basically taken into account there. Leah had asked that she's struggling with playgrounds basically because some of the equipment is getting to end of life and needs replacing. Obviously there was no budget there to do that. So she's asked if I can put some capital budget in there so that she can buy some new equipment. So that's why your playgrounds is increased. Neighbourhood plan, obviously, but then that is covered by grant funding. So you will see the exact same amount in the income side, so that has no effect on the budget. Your rental properties, obviously, you've got the project that will be underway, and obviously we will have more legal costs, etc., dealing with contracts and that kind of thing for the flat, because obviously it's residential. So there's more hoops that we have to go through. And other than that, obviously capital repayments. The rest is just mainly I've worked on 5% for salary. I've worked on 3% for insurance increases. And then the majority, no, I think 5% on utilities. The majority of everything else is at 2%. So that's what we're looking at, basically. However, if you look from the budget summary against, so it's future versus start of year. So you'll notice that our current precept is 952,734. And obviously the one for 24-25, I think actually the dates are wrong on there, aren't they? They need changing. I hadn't updated them. So basically the 25-26 that we're looking at to 27-28. But the increase is looking currently with all that stuff in is looking at 35%. So I'm guessing that you wouldn't be happy with that. So we probably need to look at what we want to take out.
No way can we have a preset increase of 35%. Even 10% is getting a bit iffy when inflation is hovering around 2%. So I think
if you look at the other budget summary that I've attached, that's basically looking at what the current budget is. So that's your 1,106,861. So from what we're actually doing now this year, the increase is basically around 15%.
yeah, but
That's just to show you that.
it doesn't come out like that, does it?
Well, no, because obviously the increase is the 35.
The increase is from.
But from current operations, next year's increase, it's not altogether that.
Well, it depends where you're coming from. And I know the problem that it's still I was going to say eternal, maybe it is an eternal problem, that a 1 penny rate here doesn't bring in the same as it does in a lot of other places. It's getting better because of the new houses built, and particularly the newer ones off Red Lane and Windermere Avenue, in that they're quite plush. They're big houses, but even at 15%,
But no, that was just to show you that obviously the problem we have is that we keep topping the budget up from reserves. So you do have that problem. So it's
Yeah, you can only top it up from reserves until reserves run out.
run out. Yeah.
Then
But-
you can't. That's
But people were making fuss and bother about having 300 quid
they were.
taken away in
yeah. Oh yeah.
winter fuel allowance.
Yeah.
So on top of that, putting our amount up by anything approaching a large number is going to meet with a lot of resistance.
Yep.
And I think we just have to be, we've got in the last item there are increases heading
They are
this way.
included in this budget, by the way.
Yeah, but that don't know what. Well, 10% on top of that, call it for a round figure, 100,000. No, it's not. Talking rubbish. 10. Oh,
It's 90 odd, isn't it?
yeah. So, we've got to look at these and say, are they needed or are they what we'd like to do? The roof, do we need to do it?
We did say this last year and deferred it,
And the year before.
and the year before.
And the
Yeah.
year before.
At some point, we will have to do it.
Mm,
And what you don't want is basically for something to go wrong, and then you're stuck with the bill with no funding behind it.
Do we know what the actual cost of it is? Other than
No, at the moment it was an educated guess. We have approached companies for prices, but they've been very slow in coming forward.
because
But I'm guessing it's not going to be cheap, given that it's a listed building.
well, it would be nice to have the heating changed,
It would.
but
That's nearly as much.
we
Well, no.
Well,
Well,
put it this
it depends
we-
if you want
we
to
can't-
change the whole system.
we can't do both.
No,
Is what I'm
no, can't.
saying.
I would suggest that we will have to replace the boilers next year.
So if
They
that's
are on their last
so
leg,
if that's more urgent, we need to do that before the roof.
possibly.
So we need to know.
It's hard to tell how urgent the
Well-
roof is without, we don't go up there very often. obviously.
Well,
So you can't actually see what kind of state it is in.
There is an advantage to doing the boilers, I think. I know it'll still cost us money, but the advantage with doing the boilers is because of the age of them, they're probably nowhere near an A classification for energy efficiency.
Oh.
They're probably more like a Z.
I don't think
Or there'll be a G or an H. They'll be a long way up the scale because they're old and they're really clapped out.
I don't
So
think we
there
have,
will be a benefit to that. It will reduce the fuel costs a bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't converted from coal boilers. But anyway, but these are but what we've got to do is say, right, the boilers are going to conk out in a year or 2 years, or we don't know. At the moment, the roof isn't. The roof is holding up, so we don't, you know, or, you know, have we been squirrel? I know we've been using things out of reserves, but should we perhaps be looking at, instead of doing it, squirreling a bit more away to do for the roof? Are we sure we'd get grant for it from, I don't know, Historic England or whoever it is?
Possibly not, but
Well,
it's something we can look at.
It's a pity this building didn't get considered when Pendle Council were lashing out levelling up fund money.
well, yes,
Don't go down there.
don't, yeah, well,
Going down that avenue, so.
my views on the way that was handled are
Well, yeah, I know.
not
Not
to,
acceptable.
well, yeah, not to be said in a public meeting, because we'd get,
But I think the boilers is the one. to
we'd
do
get
first.
fined. Can I just on the detail
Yeah,
sheet with the yellow blobs and the dark blue blobs? What's the significance between the two?
the significance of, well, the blue is grounds maintenance and is basically contractors.
So that's gonna, yeah, because
So the blue's just showing, but the yellow is actually similar. It's things that obviously your utilities, we have contract, we know what rate we pay, we know what usage is, etc. So that's things like that. Insurance is another thing. A lot of subscriptions we have, that kind of thing. It's
just
stuff that's already in place.
anything yellow and blue
You can't
is
really-
No leeway.
we're
No.
committed to,
which is why I've done them that way, so that we know we can't really mess about them.
well, yeah, but he would have helped us a bit more.
But it's always been this way now.
I think what we've I don't think tonight we can go through and say, oh, we knock this out, we do the other, because we'll end up.
But we could say, well, if you take out the roof, and then if you reduce the amount that you put in for, say, CCTV, playgrounds, that kind of thing, by, I don't know.
Well, I'm surprised because it's not that long ago that the playgrounds were.
They heavily used.
I know I'm not disputing that, but I would have thought the life of subject to somebody setting fire to it or wrapping the things round.
Tends to happen quite a lot.
Well, they would last a bit longer than they have. I mean, maybe they have, and it's within the life. They're within the area of they're beginning to. Well, some of them are, and some aren't.
There were certain play areas that we didn't actually look at
Well,
in that project. They need new equipment.
well, I think this is.
The surfacing as well is becoming an issue on some play areas, and that's not cheap.
Well, I think what we need on stuff like that is where are the ones that it needs doing and what does need doing.
Right.
You know, is it we need to do 3 of them have got problems with the whatever the surfacing is called, whatever its proper
Yeah.
name is.
If you want, I can get Leah to
I think we need to know,
write some points down as to,
Um,
to
you know, that I've lost the figure now. Well, for playgrounds. So out of that 85,000, what does that cover?
well, if you look under the play areas budget, which is 113, yeah. Basically you've got grounds maintenance in there that you can't change. Your ROSPA inspections you can't change, you have to do them.
Hang on. Yeah, you can find them quicker because you know where they are.
Your insurance, obviously your public liability, etc., is there. There's also an element of salaries in there. The
So
main thing is, I mean, basically, all I've put in 15,000 for repairs and maintenance, and I put in 30,000 for new equipment.
well, that's got a yellow line through it.
It's got a yellow line through it because basically the contract officer has asked for
Yeah,
more budget.
but
because
that's
you can't do anything with the play area.
but that's 3 times what we budgeted this year. So you know, maybe that can come down to this year a little bit.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
This is what we've got to do. You know, repairs and well, that's strange that figure's the same figure, but anyway. Well, it's not double, but it's half as much again, isn't it? On repairs and maintenance.
Leah was actually wanting to put some inclusive items into some of the play areas, i.e., you know, that are suitable for disabled children, etc., etc. We don't have a lot of that in our play areas.
No, but maybe that's what we concentrate on rather than, you know, a blanket approach. Let's look at which one will be the most. So, I mean, I would guess for access, the most suitable would either be King George or Alkin Courts because they're
I think we were looking at Alkin Courts
because they're easily accessible. But you know, we need to know in some sort of detail rather than you know, we're going up 3 times. Well, what are we getting for that?
Yeah. The problem is when you start costing things, that's when it gets expensive.
Well,
but I will get her to put some points down as to which ones she thinks need more of it.
You know, like just going back to CCTV because it's on the same page. That's nearly. Well, it's not nearly. It's just less than. Oh no, sorry. No, looking at the wrong column. What, you know, we need to know what that does. There's a cost for CCTV, full stop, isn't there? Of you know, paying it.
Yeah, so your monitoring and your maintenance is obviously one of the bigger costs in there, which is 30,000.
Yeah, but that must be, you know, their wages have gone up, their costs have gone up, blah blah. But in the lost the line now. In the line below it at the 86, what's that getting us? And can we just do
86 is the total of all the expenditure. So basically,
well,
the only thing that's obviously you've got an increase in that we're now getting it monitored 24/7. So that's a big increase. Whereas before it was just, it wasn't being monitored, basically, it was just us. The software
Sorry, it's
license
the 40
extension has gone, but
it-
mainly because it's included in the cost of the monitoring.
No,
and
it's the 40,000. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. It's too many lines to try and.
the 40,000 is the new equipment and
Yeah.
infrastructure.
What does that get us?
That gets us basically a new bespoke column in the town centre and moving the column that is obstructed, the camera that's obstructed onto there, and repairing King George's.
And
Repairing King George's, upgrading the cameras there, and because they're not.
sorry, because the King George's one, one of the ones at King George's is the one in the wrong place.
Yes, yeah.
So that's X, whatever X is, and then there's a Y added to that to change the cameras or upgrade them or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
Where's the Helping Force one? Is that in this year?
That's in this year. Yeah.
We've got number 112, 4524 repairs and maintenance, 7,500. When last year it was 3,880.
No, that's what it started off.
No,
If you look at what it is now, which is the current budget, it's 11,000.
So,
What we
I'd
need,
put those columns the other way around.
what we need, but I know it's a load of hassle and a load of work, but we really do need it, is some of these costs for refurbishments and things. I think we need to know, not in great detail, but why some of them need refurbishing. Is it because we want something a bit better than what we've got? In some cases it will be that. Or is it they need refurbishing because they're in a dangerous state? Now, if they are in a dangerous state, any that are need to have priority over something that we just want to do because we want something better.
Yeah.
And I think we need to know why it needs refurbishing, not in great detail. I don't want to find anybody a load of work to do, but you know, if one's dangerous, it should get priority, shouldn't it? And
Yes.
that has to be done.
Well,
And I
out
think
of
we need to know how many of each category there is.
using that new the CCTV, the 40,000 as an example, how much of that 40,000 is sorting King George's out? How much is, what did you say?
The
A new
one
column?
with the bespoke camera, bespoke post, and removing the
What-
camera.
Sorry, I'm lost now on this bespoke pole. Where's this bespoke pole?
It will be. It's basically one of the cameras outside the Muni,
Right.
and it's obstructed currently by a tree. And there's no point. We can't. Even if we cut it back,
Got the tree.
there's still a tree there. So other than cutting the tree down,
Which
which
tree? Sorry, which tree is
it's
it?
just
No.
I can't tell you exactly which tree it is.
No,
It's
but I
one
mean-
outside the Muni. But so we got Blackburn to quote.
Yeah, no, I understand. So just when you said town centre, I was thinking
No,
when you first said about a bespoke pole, I thought it was it's one at the Muni because
No,
yes, I know this one that because he said it when we were there. Didn't
Yes.
he said I can't,
yes. So that
get this bloke with his truck and his trailer to park it down there. Sorry, I'm being facetious now. But that's the sort of thing we need, and obviously we can then make a much more. I was going to say reason, but we can see the reasons for it much more. Right? Yes, we understand that because if that's because they're all listening now to see that. Oh, I forgot. If that's a problem that we're missing things or it would do, that's obviously more of a priority than just polishing the thing because it looks nice.
the problem is as well. Every day I get more information that something else is going on. So it's like
Oh,
this budget is constantly changing. recently we've had word from Lloyds, they're going to charge us for his banking.
Well,
So-
take our overdraft somewhere else. Oh,
But to be honest, so they're changing our account, treasurer's account, to business account, because basically the treasurer's accounts were only really for small entities that have a turnover less than £50,000 a year. So they know obviously we're way over that. So they are changing them to business accounts, which comes with an £8.50 per month charge per account.
well,
So we have 4 of them, treasurer's accounts. But there's also costs coming in for withdrawals, backs payments.
well,
However, they have said that they will give us 100% discount up until 2026.
well, I would.
But after that, they will begin to charge. But we still have to pay the £8.50
Well,
per account. Per
in
month.
that case, we say, thank you very much. And you know what the Barclays charge, what the Midland charge.
I can have a look, but I think you'll find that the majority of them do charge now.
Well, yeah, and who makes huge profits? The banks. Well, you know, do we get the service? Probably not. We don't, because they haven't got a branching card for a start.
But other than taking it all out and putting it under the bed,
Well,
we can't really do that. So we have to pay.
No.
Basically.
But-
But obviously we can look
but
at
nation-
what
nation-
different people charge.
Nationwide, as a for instance, are they the ones that took over the Cone Building Society? Is that Nationwide now? Who are they? Marsden? Oh, who knows? Because they've just taken over Virgin money,
Yes, they have.
which was Yorkshire Bank, which was,
Clydesdale.
you know, it might be worth asking. You know, I think we just got to ask them. And
Yeah. Well, I will say though, it's not that easy to change bank accounts, as we know.
well, no, I know, but
Uh-huh.
if they know if they know we're looking round, and
Yeah.
you know, they've given us a little concession to 2026.
Yeah.
Well, you know, perhaps they'll move a bit more. You know, sorry, we're gonna move it.
I will say that there's only certain banks that will accept councils as well. So you are limited to you.
Yeah, but we're a pretty good bet, aren't we?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's Unity, basically. It's Lloyds.
Well, Unity, they're cheap.
So they've just reduced their interest rate.
Well,
They're all
we-
reducing interest.
we know who are the people that are making the money, and it's banks.
Yes.
You know,
But there's
You-
only 3 who'll take a council on of this size.
you've never met a bank manager yet that isn't crying into his bonus. We just need to say to them, you know, we're seriously, you know, you can't put it up like that. You know, we're a good customer, blah, 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 blah. For the interest they pay us, you know, they're making interest on it as well. Let's,
But this is just purely for what you would call a current account, basically. So it's not the savings account. They're different. It's just the treasurer's account, which will now be business account.
yeah, well,
That's
it's
one of the
basically-
reasons why everybody's going on to electronic payments, because they've got to get rid of the payment for checks, which we've basically done anyway, haven't we?
Yeah.
yeah, but if they're then charging us
Mm.
what you say, eight pence for the backs.
It was.
Well,
it-
Yeah, I mean,
You get. It said that you get your first 100 per month free, and then anything after that you have to pay for.
well, you'll have to keep.
Yeah.
When it gets to 95, some poor soul will have to wait a few weeks. But that's not fair on small.
No, it's not.
No. But yeah, I only got the letter the other day, so basically I hadn't had a chance to
Well-
actually put anything in the budget for it. Yeah.
Bring them up and tell them to.
We've had a similar one for the place we were at just at lunchtime.
Oh,
We've had a similar one there,
yeah, I mean,
but from a different bank.
no, I know that they're all. Yeah. Anyway, we digress.
But yeah, no, I was just saying that obviously things are coming in.
Oh,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Oh, this is going up, this is going up. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we tighten our belts.
Ryan,
Going back to park situation, when they redeveloped the parks 2 or 3, 4 years ago, they were very selective on what parks they did do, and Alkin Courts and King George's did get upgraded then, and
and one in Waterside.
probably Millennium
We
Green.
merged the two. There used to be two in Waterside,
Yeah.
didn't they? We
You know,
merged
so-
them
We
together.
made them into one, didn't we?
Yeah.
I
We did
think.
get some new equipment.
Oh yeah, okay, bottom there. But I think they should be looking as well at the other parks that didn't get upgraded, just to see if something does need doing there, because there's Daisy Street
Paul Street.
and I don't know whether in charge at Millennium. I don't know whether it's Pendle or not.
We got that still pending.
And like you said, there's Orley Street as well.
Holly
Yeah.
Street, Daisy Street.
West Street got some money spent on it.
Yeah, that got a bit spent on it.
So that's all I am, rather than a good idea to do all inclusive stuff somewhere, and it obviously will be Alkin Courts if it's all inclusive. And but I really think that we should be looking elsewhere as well to see if anything needs upgrading there, because I have been past Orley Street in the last week or two, and it doesn't look too good.
One of the problems is on this side, on this side of the valley, there are only two big ones, and on that side, there's 3 or 4 very small ones.
I'll just point out as well is that there's a new park open at top of the new estate as well, off where I live up Knots Drive, on that new estate there, the
So who
Deerwood Park one, Persimmon.
is that community out there? Or do Pendle?
It-
do
The community, the estate own it, but anybody can go and play on it, so it will be quite new equipment. They could go up there. There is an abundance of parks on Waterside, all small parks, like you say. So.
I think what we need in future, when we can get round to sorting it out, is with the parks in particular. I think we need some sort of a rolling programme where we look at play equipment in a couple of them 1 year, and then something else year after, and move it, cycle it round a bit. The only trouble is they're not all a similar size, so you can't say we'll do 2 a year up, because when you come to 2 a year, if you came to Alkin Courts and one at Skipton Road, if they're both the same year, it'd be more than as budgeted stand. But we do need some sort of a rolling programme for it, which years ago we used to have, didn't we, Howard, when it was Pendle. We used to have a rolling programme. We used to refurb 1 or 2 a year. And something we're always getting improved.
Going back to Orley,
That was Leah's idea, to be honest, which is why she asked for a budget to put in.
just going back to Orley Street as well, like the equipment there is, in my opinion, it's like for 3, 4, 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And the kids I see on there, they don't really play on it, but they're usually about 7, 8, 9-year-olds that are there, and they just hang around inside.
They were all for different age groups when they were done. And now just anybody goes on any, don't they? But you can't control and put a sign outside and say, if you're taller than this, you can't go on here, can you? You can't really do that, can you?
Well, unless we're going to put CCTV cameras.
It don't work like
We'll
that.
go to-
Brothers and sisters tend to go to the play area at different ages, don't they? But they go together.
What I'm saying is that the kids that are there, 7-year-olds, but the equipment is no good for them. They can't use it because it's for children, rather than younger, older kids.
But going back to this budget, we've either got to put up with a 35% increase, which, as Howard has already said, can't be done, and I don't think it can, or we've got to get to nitty gritty of some of these items and decide what to prune out to take it down to a more manageable figure, but without leaving anything not done that's dangerous. I think that's what we've got to try and do.
Bong. I'm just waiting for the bongs to stop.
And then bring it back to FES next month.
Yeah, I think
And then it's really going to have to go to full council as well next month.
the ones that we're looking at are the ones where there's a big
Increase.
increase,
Yeah.
like that. Sorry to pick on playgrounds, but that's the page that's on. Because that's quite a jump. There's the well, and there's the CCTV as well. You know, we just need to look at what those and I don't know where do you know all the codes? Where's the town hall?
114. So next page.
Right, but you know that 815, for instance, we need to know.
But 800,000 of that is covered by income from a loan. So really, you're only looking at 15,000.
What?
The idea of for the roof, so repairs and maintenance in the income, we were saying we were going to get a loan for that.
Yeah.
So the income is in the capital repayment section at the bottom. So the 800 and the 800 cancel each other out. So you're only really looking at 15,000.
Where? Go on. Which line is that on?
Repairs 4524 114.
Yeah, 815,000.
Yeah. So then right at the bottom, if you go right to the end of the budget, so section 150 is your capital repayment budget. So your income, you've got 800,000 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not income, is it? It's wooden.
No, but
it's-
it cancels that expenditure
it's
out.
wooden dollars,
It's
as they
paid
used to
for.
say. Yeah.
So really, there's if you take all that element out, you've only got £15,000 in repairs and maintenance for the town hall.
Okay.
And where
You're saying we've only got that.
where is the loan repayment? So is that the 15,000?
The loan repayment is also in that 150 section. So that's
100 and what? 150. Yeah.
so you've got which one is it?
1096.
8,000. Another 8,000.
Well,
So I've only put because you pay per 6 monthly.
no, no,
I've
oh,
only put
8,000.
one repayment in for next year, and there'll be 2 in for the following years.
So it'd be 16 grand, man.
Yeah. So which is why it goes up.
Yeah, if you're going to bring
Right. Well,
if you're going to bring the 8,000 in, you know, if you're going to bring the loan money in, you've got to then have the loan payments going back out, haven't you?
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
But the problem you
for
have
X
with
number of years.
that one is because we were doing it over 50 years, i.e. because it's town hall roof, your interest payments are 30 odd grand. That's where your admin budget is. And that's why that's gone up that much. Interest.
don't we take it out of the given rate of something's, if we borrow it from the public works loan board,
Yeah.
we'll get that considerably less than,
Oh, yeah, but
Go-
this is worked out on the current rates.
It's 5% now.
It is 5%, yeah,
well, let's hang on till it.
till it drops.
Should have took it. We should have took it out.
Well,
Well,
well.
long enough, shouldn't we?
Well, that's what. But the thing is, we did the playgrounds, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
You can't have it all.
and
can you?
So that's 16,
town
sorry,
as well.
going to the playgrounds, that 16,000 in there is for what we're paying off for the,
No. The 16,000 not in the playground budget, but in the capital repayment budget is,
Yes.
is the loan repayments.
yeah,
Yes.
no, that's what I was, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and the obviously the 360 is for the phase 1 town hall that was doing the function room. Obviously, we're still paying that off.
Well, that's only 3,000. Well, can we not get it the same rate?
No.
Oh, it's not good enough. But what's that well, I don't know, but what's 16,000 in terms of how much is that on the preset? What
16,000. Well, it won't be.
what do we get for
But you can't take that out because we've already taken that loan out.
no, but if we don't take the loan out
If you don't take the loan out for the roof,
till
then obviously you'll save like 30 odd grand in interest charge next year. Or something along those lines.
well, it's 8,000. It's
If I have a look.
It's
in the-
8,000.
No, that's the capital repayment, but the interest you pay on the remaining balance. So if you're taking out £800,000,
right. Well, why are they all in these different flipping? Right. So where is the interest there?
so that is in the administration budget, which is your 101. So it's at the beginning,
Going
and
really well.
your PWLB and interest charges is 30,840,
Right.
31 grand.
Yeah. Why are they-
which increases in the following 2 years to 52,000, because I've basically said that if we take the loan out next year, we'll only have one repayment to make next year, but then there'll be 2 going on from that, which is why it goes up like that.
well, it's not. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, when it goes up to 50 odd, that's assuming we took the loan out for the roof, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
If we didn't, it would remain at 30.
it would. Well, no, it'd be less actually,
Hmm.
because the 30 includes.
But
One
on the
repayment.
accounting for the way it has to be done for public sector, it is a bit daft. But the principal part of your payment and the interest part of your payment have got to be accounted for separately in the account.
No,
Mhm.
I thought they might be near one another.
Oh, well, no, because we just had to add it in afterwards. and that
Yeah,
was the only
yeah. It's all.
number that was available.
Because when your loan starts off at the beginning, very little gets paid off principal. It's all interest at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Then it,
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gradually tips and turns for the way.
depends how long you take it over.
Yeah.
If you're only going to take it over 5 years, then
It changes fairly quick.
yeah. However, because we said with it being a building thing and a capital, that we would take it over 50 years, which is
Yeah,
why your
well,
interest is
Because that.
high.
No, but it's a fixed.
It's fixed rate,
It's a
but
fixed
on
rate.
800, yeah. So you take it over 50 years, which means your capital repayment is less, which means your remaining balance is always going to be higher. And that's what your interest is worked off.
Yeah, and it's a fixed rate. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Is the boilers included in here?
I think so, yeah. I think we will be able to do the roof and replace the boilers.
Well, I would be
For that.
tempted
but
to bite the bullet and suggest that we don't do the roof at the moment,
mhm,
in the hope that the interest rates can come down a bit over the next couple of years. And then in a couple of years, when it's maybe wishful thinking down at 2%, then we bite the bullet and do it on a fixed rate at a lower rate than what we would pay now.
right. So from that, do you want me to put the roof, town hall roof element into the third year on a 3-year budget?
I'd say yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, for now, yes.
To take it out in that year,
Yes.
so there'll only be one.
Because next year we can always, depending on how interest rates are going, and then and depending on how the roof holds up and how it's leaking,
Mhm.
next year we could decide to move it from the third year back, which would be
Back to the,
and move and slip it back
Back to
another
this
year.
time
So
next
it'd be 4 years, but it'd be off scale of this, wouldn't it? But it'd still be in third year next year, wouldn't it? Yeah. Must have had a big day. He's only just got back.
no, it's little boys. Hospital. You've been there.
We're nearly finished.
So we've cut the events budget down to what?
3 quid.
Got nothing.
3 quid, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought it was 3 pence.
So
Right, so that's
if we
one
take that
change.
big
I can
one off,
make, right?
Yeah.
I think that gives us a chance to come in somewhere between 10 and 15 and hopefully nearer to 10.
What do you want me to try and aim for 10?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Yes,
Under if possible.
right. Well,
I know it's.
I might struggle,
difficult.
but
If it-
yeah.
but if
But if you think that
that
you would be
that,
more happy with 10, then I'll try and work.
that can
10.
be argued on the basis that part of that is we have to mend the we have to replace the boilers because they're likely to conk out in the next year anyway.
Yeah.
Unless we get the coal ones put back in or wood burning or
Well, no, they've never been coal ones. They're not that. They're the mid-80s.
no, I meant when the building. You know,
No,
let's bring
bottom
the
to
building
mid-80s.
back. Let's bring the building back to
The mid-80s.
1893. No, yeah. There may even be before that because it's never been.
Because I knew Soestham at the time. It was Harry Knuckle.
Oh well. Oh, that explains a lot.
Right, so
Yeah.
that's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll have a look and see what I can do. I will email the papers out. Because I'm conscious that. Well, I don't know. Do you want me to do that and then present that at the next full council?
Not the November one, no.
No,
I'd rather think.
Rather wait
I'd rather
till
think
the
we were
December
more
one.
happy with it before it
Yeah.
went there.
right.
But I think if you can,
If I can get it somewhere near.
and maybe I say you know, you go, oh, it's 114 or 11.
Yeah,
If you can just point us at it and say, look, you know, if you look at, I don't know, 111, that's moved from, you know, that we've
I'll do a detailed explanation of what I am.
well, it don't need to be,
Then you know.
it don't need to be,
Well, it'll just be along the. I've reduced this.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
of-
but,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Just so that we know where we're looking when we come into the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, but
Mhm.
I think if they come out a bit before, that's if we can, the longer we can have them to pour over them, I think the better.
Okay. Yes.
And then
Do we think it needs to come back? I think it needs to come back to FES.
I think it needs to come here first.
Because we're looking at trimming it and taking stuff out. And my worry is if it goes to the other one,
If we go the other way,
to get some people wanting to put
stuff
something in.
in, yes.
It definitely needs to come here first.
Yes. I'd rather be, I'd like to be a bit nearer to a figure we're happy with before we present it to the
Yes.
council.
Yeah.
And then we might be able to make the decision in December, I don't know, but we won't have the base rate in December, will we?
No, we used to get it in January now.
But we can work. Well, I don't know.
The way I've always looked at it,
It
base
should,
rates usually goes up because we've usually built more new houses than we've knocked down, usually.
well,
So if it's gone up, only time it went down was when council tax arrears went through the roof, didn't it? And it went down that year, but we did pretty
Yes.
well because Colne was the only one who didn't drop. I
Yeah.
was stayed.
we can work on the old.
Yeah, I've always looked on it as though it won't change, and if it does, it's a bonus.
Yes.
That's how I've usually looked at it. So we'll bring budget back when you've had another chance at.
I also get Leah to look at what she thinks is a priority.
Well,
Yes.
if we can have we need to do this now, but then whatever year,
Well, yeah, well,
with a phase
yeah,
thing at it.
Like we did earlier on the last month's meeting when we had different point where we said we do this, we don't do this, we don't do this. If we can get something like that, it will help us understand where we've got to spend, where we can trim a little bit, and hopefully balance the books.
Because with play areas, anything, for instance, that Ross was flagged up, it's got to be done.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That can't be missed.
this is where a lot of the surfacing has been flagged.
So can we defer this one then until we get a revised budget in December?
What's held behind it? Because Gina, that's good, so I'm fine. But I misread the column, so I'm doing it quickly.
Yeah, I did explain that it wasn't facts.
You mean you were doing it enthusiastically? Yeah. Right. It's Nathan that spends all the money. Town hall maintenance, item 11. Now, unless on this one, unless there's anything else that wheels have fallen off, I think we've probably discussed most of it, haven't we? Unless
Yeah.
you've got something else.
No, it's just to say that you will notice that obviously that we have got a scaffold outside the back of the annex building, or which is the patch repairs that we actually authorised a few meetings ago. So that the scaffolding's now gone up, and the work. When's the work scheduled for?
It's been started.
Has it been started?
Yeah.
All right. This week, as of So other than that, and the
When's clock coming
I
back?
don't know what to say. I haven't heard back from that.
I spoke to the clock guy yesterday. He's got an idea what the issue is. He just ain't got round to actually doing it yet. But he's give us the price for it. He just hasn't got around to actually doing it. But I'll give him a polite kick to get it done so we can get it back up. £180.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Nothing.
It could have been a lot worse. Brian,
You meant a horologist, not clockman.
Well, yes.
I'm not exactly sure whether this comes under town hall maintenance or any other business. the flags, they're looking a bit grubby, I think. I think I can see a bit threadbare on St George's flag up there, and the ones across there are looking a bit grubby. They were tied up yesterday, but I thought they weren't looking too well.
Have a look at that.
Well, one of the reasons why the town hall flag doesn't last long, well, it isn't just that, is some people will remember who've lived in Colne a long time, is it didn't fly every day. It only was flown when it had to do. And a councillor who should remain nameless, and it weren't me, suggested in sort of late 90s that it should be flown every day at year and make Colne a brighter place. And because it's up there every day, it gets a lot more wear than just being put up when it's a special occasion, doesn't it? Obviously, it used to last years before. Now we're lucky if it's a lot of windy weather, they don't last 3 months, do they? No. Well, they don't.
That's that question. How long do they last? Because it doesn't seem that long since.
Well, the St George that's up at the minute, it's been up just over a month, and it were brand new when it went up.
Yeah.
But obviously it'll be coming down this week, ready for the Union Jacks. But anyway,
It only used to go up about a dozen times a year. The Union Jack, and after that, it were at half mast, weren't it? That's the only time it ever got flown. But I think it does look better at town hall, you know, when you're walking through town and flags flying. I agree, but it's a great cost because they're not cheap, them flags. So, items for a future month's agenda. Oh, there's going to be a lot of chomping at bit on budget, so hopefully not a lot else other than just general finance stuff that's normally on.
I was going to bring the fees and charges. Actually, I meant to do it this month, but yeah. So that's one thing.
Well, if they come to FES next month and then went to full council next month, we could probably get fees and charge done and dusted, and then that's that part at budget agreed and done.
Yeah.
Because it's only a small effect, but that does have a knock-on effect on main budget, doesn't it? It's not a great amount, but it does have an effect. Right, so the date for the next meeting is Tuesday, the 3rd of December. And can I move exclusion of public and press? Well, we take the confidential staffing item. I weren't supposed to bang me knee on the desk. No.
End it. No, I know, but I can't get to it with the stupid thing.
Pull plug out.